should I buy a classic car? Now lately a lot of my customers are thinking about getting classic cars because they say, hey, they're simpler, they're easier to fix, they don't have all that computer crap on them. And of course that's true. On this Lincoln that's almost 50 years old, the old carburetor went bad. I was able to go and buy a brand new one the same day at a local auto parts store. There's still parts available and there's only 4 bolts holding it on. And that sure beats the heck out of working on a variable valve timing, fuel-injected modern engine that can have thousands of dollars of parts instead of just a simple carburetor to make it run. And here lies something that you should understand if you're thinking about buying a classic car. You want to buy one that there's parts that are readily available for. Like this Lincoln. It's a Ford. There's many common parts. A lot of them are still made, and there's plenty of them lying around. You don't want to buy a Ferrari or a Lamborghini where it's going to bankrupt you just buying the parts. And let's face it, modern cars really don't have any style. They all pretty much look the same with plastic aerodynamic parts. They get good gas mileage, but really, look, there's no chrome. Everything's just painted the same color as the car. So things like chrome everywhere, Landau roofs, the old cars really have a style of their own. And when it comes to classic cars, you don't have to be a fanatic where all the serial numbers match and you spend a small fortune making it exactly the same as it came out of the factory. You can do classic cars economically if you want. Now, sure, they're not going to be worth what a pristine original showroom car is going to be worth, but they can be a lot of fun and you don't have to throw out all that much money if you're careful. Now, if you are looking to get a classic car, here's one thing to be aware of. Don't buy one that's a hulk of rust. Check for a lot of rust before you even think about buying that particular one. Now, this Lincoln may be 50 years old, but look, when you crawl under and look around, it's got one solid frame. There's no rot on it at all. Now, it's easy for me here because this is a Texas car, so it doesn't have any rust. So if you're really looking for classic cars, you might take a trip to Texas or buy one that's from Texas that comes with pictures all around before you buy it to make sure it doesn't have problems. Now, being from Texas, this car still has a factory AC on it and it still does work, but don't expect to have working AC on most classic cars. Unless you're willing to spend a whole bunch of money just doing the whole air conditioning system over, or if you don't mind, buy one without AC and put an add-on kit on. Now, since classic cars are a lot simpler, you can do a lot of the work yourself, have fun, get the enjoyment of doing that, and still save a whole bunch of money when you really think about it. Because when you consider the price of a modern car versus an old classic that isn't a completely redone one, it costs $30,000, $40,000 for a decent modern car. And man, you can find classics all day long for a lot less than that. And speaking of money, if you buy a brand new $40,000 car, after 5 or 6 years, it's worth maybe 1/3 of what you paid for it. But a classic car, it might even go up in value over time. A much better economic choice there. So if you're thinking about buying something that has a little more class and certainly is a lot more fun, you might think about buying a classic car. And remember, if you've got any car questions, just visit the Scotty Kilmer channel. And I'll answer them as soon as I'm done driving this Lincoln.